Hello everyone, welcome back to AK Coding. Today is the next lesson of learning HTML. Actually, today is the 10th. We have already learned a lot of tags in HTML, and in this video we'll be learning about HTML semantic elements and their structures and their meanings. So let's get started. This is an introduction to semantic elements in HTML. What is semantic element actually? Semantic elements clearly define the meaning of the content they contain, and they improve accessibility of search engine, which is SEO, and maintainability of the web page. Semantic elements are only available in HTML5, the version of the HTML, this is the 5th one, and there are some examples of tags, which are header, footer, main, section, and article tags. We'll be learning about these 5 main tags, and we have also non-semantic elements, for example div or span, which do not convey the meaning. So, defining headers and footers in our HTML. What is header? Header represents introductory content or navigation links. So when you visit a website, you can see some kind of navbars, which is located in the header, and we have a footer, which represents the foot part of the web page, which is the footer content, like copyright, contact, or some kind of essential links. So this is a small example. As you can see, we have a header in the first, this one, and after that we have inside of the header we have H1, which is welcome to next learners, and we have navbars, which is a now, as I taught you before, and we have anchor tags in order to navigate them, and at the end we have footer. So let's build this kind of small application, small web page on Visual Studio Code. So we'll be going to Visual Studio Code, and we will open a new file called lesson 10 HTML. After that, so we'll create main structure of HTML, and I will write here HTML semantic elements, and we'll be writing here the header tag, and inside of our header tag we'll write H1. We'll call welcome to next learn, and after that we'll be writing now, and inside of a now tag we'll be writing UL, which is unordered list, and lists. So we'll be writing list. Instead of a list we can write anchor tag in order to navigate it, and I will write here, for example, only this one, and I will write instead of our anchor tag home, and I will copy paste, and I will make it to about, and this one can be contact, and that's enough. And we have footer out of our header, we'll write footer, and inside of our footer can be this one. So now we have to open in a live server. I will press on this, so we don't need this one. So we have a small simple now tags, and this is the footer can be, right? So we have a welcome to next learn of this, and this is stating in the header. We have home, about, and contact. So as you can see, you're not seeing any kind of effects on header and footer, but when you're coding and when you start when you're building a web page, we'll have to use these tags because they're so essential. So when we go to YouTube, even we have a header, which is this. I mean, that's navbar, which is logo, notifications, create, microphone, search bar, right? All of them are inside of the header, and the footer, this can be a footer of the YouTube. So if we want, we can check other websites. For example, if we go to W3 Schools, which is the popular website, we have a header here, right? And this can be just a card.js. And at the end, if we go, we have a footer, which is representing about W3 Schools, top tutorials, top references, top examples, and get certified, and their social medias and their privacy policy. So we can write this kind of things instead of our footer and headers. So I will teach you somehow how to code on CSS from the next lessons, and in this lesson only we'll be learning about HTML semantic elements. So let's go back to our slide and highlighting the main content. We have another tag for semantic elements, which is main tag. Main tag represents the main content of the document, which it excludes repeated content like headers, footers, and sidebars. Main can be this kind of example. We have a main tag with open and closing tag, and instead of this we have h2, which is about HTML, and p. HTML is a standard markup language for creating web pages. Inside of this there is a text. So it means main is the content instead of, in the between of header and footer. So if we go back again to W3 Schools, right, we can see here header, which is this one is a header, and from after this we have learn to code, we have search bar, we have these things, right, these all things until the footer are inside of the main tag. So it means we can write here, go back to our code, and we'll write after header we can write main, and instead of a main we can write h2 about, for example, HTML, and we can write p tag, for example, this text about HTML. So, and when we go back to our browser, we can see instead of these two. So footers and headers can be repeated in a lot of pages. For example, let's go back any kind of page, for example exercises. As you can see, we have still header and we have still footer. You see, there is. So it means only the content, which is the main contents, are changing, others not. So web page we built this kind of main and essential semantic elements in HTML5. So we'll go back again our to slide and we'll continue. And we can organize the content using two main essential contents, tags, which are section and article. Section groups relate to content together, and article represents standalone content like blog posts or news articles. For example, here we can see a simple example of how to use section and article. We have a section, inside of our section we have h2 element, and instead of this we have learn HTML text, and after that we are opening a new article about the HTML, for example introduction to HTML, and some text with p paragraph tag, and we're closing the article tag, and we open another article tag, and as you can see our slide is not showing all of them, but I will try to show you maybe here so we can see the full one. I think it's not opening. I don't know why. kind of situation. So we have an article, h3p, and article and section. So we don't need this example because we are going to write an example in our Visual Studio Code. So instead of our main, we can open a new thing, which is the section, in order to divide them. So I will open a section. Instead of a section, I'll write, for example, H2 introduction to HTML, for example, intro to HTML, and after that I will open article, and instead of article I'll write this, for example, right? And if I go back to our router, we can see this. And as you can see, we are using header, we are using footer, we are using main, we are using sections and articles. So we can write a lot of sections, like we can copy and paste this. Oh, I'm sorry, I think this is not working. So we can copy. No, I don't need. Just suggesting the Copilot. For the moment being, I don't need. So we have this kind of situation happens, like this kind of result we can see in our browser, like intro HTML we have, which is the section inside of this. This is inside of our article. This is a section again. This is an article, and this is our footer. We can create this kind of websites like using this kind of main essential tags. So we'll go back to again our. So I'll open here. And I think you have learned about how to use them. And as you know, I mean, we haven't learned about HTML, CSS still, I mean, which is the cascading style sheet. So we'll be learning from the next lesson, from the 11th of the HTML. Somehow we will be learning. And after that, I will post a new playlist for CSS2. So we have some takeaways and practice at home to do. So we have semantic elements improve the structure, readability, and accessibility of web pages. We practiced about creating web pages that using header, main, section, article, and footer tags to structure the content. And this is the practice for you to do. Ensure each element is used appropriately based on its meaning. So try to create this kind of small web page using these tags. And I hope you will be enjoying with watching and learning my videos. Thanks for watching once again. If you have any further questions, please comment below. I will try to respond. Thanks again.